Welcome everybody. It's 7 o'clock. We're going to start the Board of Mayor and Aldermen November 1st, 2016 regular meeting. I call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum. The prayer is with Alderman Jones and the Pledge of Allegiance with Alderman Brown. Please stand for the prayer.
Let me bow. Heavenly Father, we gather here tonight to have one of our city meetings. Please watch over us, and please let this be civil amongst everyone. And most of all, Lord, I ask you to please hold an extra hand of support behind the Blair family in their loss. And also, we ask you to help everyone around the world as we're seeing some tragic events happening amongst us all. These words I ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We need to approve the minutes for October the 4th, 2016, public hearing, October 4th, 2016 regular meeting, and October 13th, 2016 regular meeting. Need a motion to approve the minutes?
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Hearing no nays, the minutes is approved. We're moving on to number 2, that's department reports. Fire. Chris?
Mayor, Alderman. Month of October, we had 267 calls, 2.9 average minutes response time, and taking in 4,500 gallons of water. Any questions?
2.9, that's pretty good.
And the calls are increasing, but they've done a really good job getting out the door and getting to these calls pretty quick. Do note that we had 2 individuals that were resuscitated last month, and these guys are doing really good. We're proud of them, and we hope that they keep up the good work.
The burning ban is still on.
Burning ban is still on. I appreciate everybody helping us out. It's really, really dry. Wind's getting up. We're hoping to see some rain hopefully by the end of the week. Once that happens, we can determine whether we can lift it or not. Appreciate everybody's patience with that since it was bonfire season.
Not yet. It's been too hot.
That's true. Any questions?
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Moving on to police, Mike.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. I'm not going to be as short as I was last month, and I'm going to be a little longer than Chris, but not over my time. Last night was in our 14 Halloweens here in Laverne. That's the shortest, smallest crowd I believe I've seen. There were not that many out. We had very few, probably maybe 50 total. And there are a lot of times that we've run out of candy before 6 o'clock. And we emptied a bucket with 3 little guys that were the last ones that came about 8:30 last night, 8:45. They were just getting started because their parents had worked late, both of them. And my daughter, bless her heart, thought they needed every piece of candy that was left in the bucket, so they got all of it. The reports are there, the calls for service by hour, day, and day of week for 15 and 16, comparison for calendar year to date and also for fiscal year to date are there. For the calendar year to date, the calls are up. This month it's 39.5% over last year. The Tibers information that TBI has on the reported crimes is not open yet. They usually don't close that out and open it back up to us until the 5th of the month. So it'll be a few more days before we get that. We had the drug take back, participated in that nationwide effort. We have a deposit bin there in the front lobby. That's a secure deposit bin. And quarterly, TBI comes and picks that up for DEA with the prescription drugs that are unused so that we can make sure people aren't flushing them or they're getting in the wrong hands. And between the take back there for 4 hours at Walmart, I think it was 35.5 pounds is what we had there that morning in 4 hours that was turned in. And added to the other, TBI picked up 136.5 pounds of unused medications. Some of them were very, very high-powered medications too, so that was a really good effort. I want to remind everybody that we will again this year, doing our food drive for Thanksgiving food boxes for our to help out with our children who are on breaks and Thanksgiving and try to make sure they have something to eat during that time they're off and have a Thanksgiving lunch, as well as some seniors that we find out about who may not have much. And if anybody wants to donate, we're collecting at the PD. If they want to provide frozen turkeys, we're going to store those and deliver them just before Halloween, just before Thanksgiving, so they have enough time to at least thaw them and thaw them properly for the frozen turkeys, or hens, baking hens. There are a lot of people that turkey is too much, and baking hens are utilized too for especially seniors if there's just one or two of them. Plus canned food items, things that children can eat during that period, pudding cups, fruit, things of that nature that they don't have to heat up, peanut butter, crackers, etc. Or if you want to contribute and us buy canned items or whatever that we need to add to, you're welcome to do that too. That's done through our Fraternal Order of Police Lodge, Percy Priest Lodge number 85. And then right behind that, we're also in the midst of gearing up for our Christmas for children and seniors. We're doing that, and we'll be collecting anything you have there, whether you want to do a contribution, you want to provide new toys, if you want to adopt a family, just call and talk to Miss Tony. Her left arm is still kind of sort of out of commission, but she can use that right one, and it hadn't hurt her talking at all, I assure you, that fall. She still talks to me just like my wife does. I have Vicki Lynn and Tony Lynn. And then we've got a little thing called Project Blue Light, and I've talked about it before in prior years, and Rachel's got some information. We're going to try to get something out on it. If you can put one blue light bulb in one window for this reason, not just in memory of those in law enforcement who have made the ultimate sacrifice, more so for their survivors, whether it be their co-workers, their family members, etc. There was over 3,400 family members this year at the memorial. Children as small as babies that were there. Parents, in-laws, sisters, brothers, nieces, nephews, etc. And that started many years ago, over 20 years ago, and that's going to be something that's coming out. And then the last thing is our Women's Awareness and Response class. It's called WAR, but we do it in here on a regular basis, sometimes one time a month, sometimes 2 times, depending on how many people we have sign up. But we're going to start putting it out again to remind people. We've had a pretty good flow of folks coming in, but we won't do another one until the first of the year to get through the holidays, because we had to cancel this past Saturday's class. But our folks have been trained to teach women and young ladies as well how to take care of themselves, what to watch for, how to handle themselves if someone approaches them, and some of the little safety things they need to know about to be aware of, and that's why it's called the Awareness and Response. And we'd love to have as many people as we can in that group. Fill this room up every time we have the opportunity if we can. Any questions? Thank you.
Moving on to Randolph codes.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Aldermen. I too would like to start out by saying that my thoughts and prayers are with the Blair family, and I hope that everyone keeps them in your prayers. Martin was a great man. For the month of October 2016, our single-family dwelling permits were 10 residential. Commercial building permits were 6. Miscellaneous permits were 18. There were 5 sign permits issued, 1 grading permit. There were 7 other to include additions and remodels. There were 6 commercial plan review. Total number of permits were 47 at a valuation of $28,407,600. It's a pretty good investment for this community, I'd say. Plumbing permits for single-family dwellings were 12. There were 3 commercial plumbing permits. There were 11 mechanical permits for single-family dwellings and 3 mechanical permits for the commercial side. There were 35 tall grass complaints, 46 junk cars in yard, and 96 other. The building inspections for the month were 279, and our impact fees for the month were $352,979.48 for roads. There were $3,110 for the Parks Department, $29,551 for the police. Monthly revenue with impact fees, I'm sure you can see, $482,617.07. So that was a pretty good chunk comes to the city month of October. We were extremely busy. The year-to-date totals for the revenue impact fees is $1,191,000. Quite pleased with that number. I'm sure y'all are as well. Total number of single-family permits issued year-to-date were 128. Total single-family permits issued during the same time period last year was 104. Total number of permits this year to date have been 475. Any questions?
Questions? Thank you, Randolph.
Thank you.
Moving on to Park and Rec. David?
Mayor, Alderman, you guys have the numbers for the month of October in front of you for the Park Department. Total help desk tickets, 57, 230 man hours, 103 and a half hours of overtime. Those were dedicated to 2 softball tournaments, Trails of Treats, and a movie in the park. Upcoming events, Senior Citizens Advisory Committee will be meeting on November 17th at 4 p.m. November the 11th is our Veterans Day program. December 3rd, Parade of Lights at 6 p.m. and December 9th is the Christmas drive-in. Any questions?
I watched the Park Rec meeting, I think it was October 17th,
Yes, sir.
and there was some mention about the Old Timers Day,
Yes.
and someone said the parade wasn't as good as it been. I was in the parade, and the parade was bigger and more crowd there than I've seen in 2 or 3 years.
I think where our where our fall off came was after the parade actually got into the park and then the rain set in heavily. It was a pretty good turnout as far as I could tell. I know fire and police were on the radios trying to find a dry spot within the weather. As soon as they found a spot that might contain some rain but no lightning, they let the parade go ahead. I think they may have bumped it up 5 minutes. I think we just got snake bit with the weather this year.
But the parade was more people I've seen observing the parade than I've seen in 2 or 3 years. And the Old Timers Day, if it hadn't rained, it was going to be definitely better than the year before.
Well, the thing that was disappointing about this year is, of course, we had everything planned, and then as far as the parade was going to be great, but then our entertainment also from start to finish was probably about the best lineup we have had since I've been here in 5 years. So from the headliner going on at 12 o'clock to, the opening act going on at 12 to the headliner going on at 6, we had a pretty good day of entertainment lined up.
Then we had the petting zoo, we had the
Then the animal guide's always a hit. You can't go wrong with him. But once the rain set in, all the equipment started getting wet. The amplifiers, plugs, and wires were getting wet, so we didn't really have any choice at that point but to cancel entertainment for the day.
But I just want to clarify that, you know, a lot of people had a lot of negative to say about the Old Timers Day, and I thought we was headed for a good show, other than if the rain set in.
Well, and you know, you can't please everybody all the time. I thought the crowd we had, we're gonna be in for a long, good day. Just unfortunately, once the rain hit, you got a 70% chance of rain and you get up in the morning, likely you're not coming out to the park.
But I do want to thank the Park and Rec, because all the work and planning y'all put in did get rained out, but y'all was set ready to go.
Well, and it's kind of disappointing for us because we do set up all day for that. You know, that's a whole week event for us. We plan that all week, and then the last couple of 4th of Julys have been basically the same thing for us. We get set up and then the rain steps in, so.
Maybe we'll get some rain this week.
Oh, there's no doubt. Oh, I thought you said maybe we'll get some rain next year. No doubt, the next couple of years is gonna be dry as can be. We're
Oh,
gonna
this
move
week, we
forward.
need some rain this
Yeah.
week.
Any other questions?
Hey, I'm just glad the kids had candy this year.
I know it. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Phyllis, Finance.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Aldermen. We're 3 months into our fiscal year with tonight's report. For the general fund, the revenues are a little bit down. That's typical of this time of the year. Expenses have exceeded revenues by approximately $2.2 million. Local sales tax, we've collected $1.6 million. That's $239,000 better than we budgeted and $114,000 better than what we did this time last year. State Street Aid revenues have exceeded expenditures by approximately $148,000. In the Stormwater Fund, revenues have exceeded expenditures by approximately $96,000. And in our Water Sewer Fund, revenues have exceeded expenditures by $1.1 million. The second page represents our balances in our various bank accounts. And the third page represents the comparison to prior year. In the General Fund, revenues are down about $34,000 and expenses are up about $622,000. In the Water Sewer Fund, revenues are up $247,000 and expenses are down about $23,000. Tap fees are also down about $147,000 compared to this time last year. In your packet tonight, you have a couple additional forms that I need to discuss with you. As you know, we recently had a bond refunding, and when we have a bond refunding, we have to report to the Director of the Office of State and Local Finance that we have entered into a new bond debt service agreement. And the report that you have in front of you is actually two forms. One was for the Water Sewer Fund and one for the General Fund. And it just basically outlines the refunding amount and what the interest rate was, what the terms were, what the fees were. This is required for us to have filed within 45 days after the bond was refunded. So we have to let you guys know and be able to see the outcome of that bond refunding. Any questions?
The bond on both water and general fund, we lowered it from what, 3.8%
About
down to 1.09.
That's right.
How much that gonna save us?
About $50,000 a year for the next 5 years.
And that's for each
For each,
deal.
yeah.
Be 100,000 a
No,
year.
no, it's $50,000 a year, 25 for each fund.
Okay,
about
25
$50,000, yeah.
for the next 5 years.
About $250,000 altogether.
That's a good deal. Any further questions, Phyllis?
Thank you.
Moving on to library data.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman, good evening. For the month of October, there were 7,946 in attendance in the library with an average of 306. We issued 107 new cards. We circulated 6,473 items, and there were 2,748 computer users. We had a total of 49 programs with the children, teen, and adults with an attendance of 733. Over to the side, you'll notice that we're going to glance back to October on our fall book sale. For our two-day book sale, we received $406.81. Those were all the items were donated, so this was clear money, and we really appreciate everyone who donated items and also those who came and bought items. We really enjoyed Trail of Treats. Lorna and I gave out 3,000 bookmarks and candy treats to all the excited kids. And we had our gross scrub. We had approximately 150 happy people who were totally grossed out at the library. We are now running food for fines. That's from November 1st until November 23rd. If you have overdue fines at the library, if you will bring in a non-perishable, non-expired item like a canned good, for every canned good that you donate, we will waive up to $1 from your fines. And all of those canned goods will go to the Laverne Police Department for the food baskets for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. So we have 23 days that we're going to be doing food for fines. So if you have any library fines, come in and we'll get them taken care of. One thing I do want to point out, our new program, Essential Oilers, are off and going. They meet the first Monday of each month. If you are interested in the basics of essential oils, what they are, what is a carrier oil, come to the class and you will learn a lot. Also, Matthew Walker Health Center, the health insurance enrollment assistance. A representative will be at our library every Thursday from now until January 31st. This is during open enrollment time to assist people who are needing help with finding a health insurance plan. And that's from 9 a.m. to 12 noon on Thursday and 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Thursday also. Any questions?
Question for Donna. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
Moving on to water treatment. Thomas, what is the summer pool?
Summer pool?
The level of summer pool. You done figured that one out?
Summer pool is 490 feet. I got a little
exactly.
detail. We got a nice picture to start off with. We always see pictures from our plant looking. So for Old Timers Day, wife and I, we camped at Pools Knob. So this is a picture from Pools Knob looking at the water plant. So it's a different view of it this month. We have a summary of our month of September of this year. We put out 132.9 million gallons for the customers. Our noteworthy events is that the Corps of Engineers is slowly drawing down the lake. Within a 24-hour period, they're drawing down to winter pool, which is currently today at noon, it was 487.92 feet. Yesterday, it was 488.16 foot. So that's a difference of a quarter of a foot over a 22.1 square mile lake. So it's a lot of water you're letting out. And it seems strange that we're in this drought condition that they're letting water out, but we don't have control on that. Rainfall was down again for the month of September. It's not looking better for October. And November's hopefully bring us something back. On our compliance, October started our long-term enhanced surface water round 2, where we test for cryptosporidians. This is the second phase of it. It's a 2-year period it runs. Last year, our last phase, round 1, we didn't have any hits of cryptos, which is a really good sign for Laverne. During our flushing for the month, our team visited 58 sites and flushed a little over 1.4 million gallons of water. The Bacteria Lab for the month of September approved 2 new lines, and 1 fixed line was brought in for a sample. Backflow and cross connection is ending the season. Everybody's pretty much finished irrigating for the year. You can tell around town it's dry, so they're not using those devices as much anymore. For the customer service for the month, we had only 3 pressure complaints, so we had another month of no complaints about the water itself. With our financial part this month, our September was a little over $1,500, which brings us right back down to the 4 months left in the year. We're pretty much on base, and a couple of maintenance items we'll be working on in that period. that we'll report back with. With our community service involvement, it didn't get listed in here, but we did enjoy Old Timers Day, and I'm supposed to say that water is your friend, but not the precipitation part of that wasn't the best part of that. But that's really about all I have for tonight.
Any more questions for Thomas? If not, we'll move on to Public Works. Mr. Garland Russell.
Thank you, Mayor and Alderman. This is for the month of October. Been busy on the brush pickup, over 100,000 pounds this month. Had a few days off of it. 577 workhouse hours, 148 work orders with 31 hours overtime, with most of that being on call. In the fleet department, we had a total of 62 vehicle repairs, 55 in-house, 7 outsourced, 36 oil change, and with 13 hours overtime. Any questions?
Any further questions for Garland? Move on to the Utility Department. Michael Deeks.
Mayor, Alderman, good afternoon. For the month of October 2016, the Water Department had a total work orders of 112. Our new meter sets were 10. We answered 146 Tennessee 1 calls. We did have 2 main line breaks and 16 service line breaks. Estimated gallons of water not sold was 42,495 for the month. Our valve inspections and repairs were 119 with a total of 27.5 hours overtime. For the sewer department, total work orders were 93, service calls were 58, pump stations were 35. Final grinder pump inspections for the month was 1. We had 72 manhole inspections and repairs. Our grinder pump rebuilds in-house for the month were 17 with a total of 44.5 hours overtime in the sewer department. Also, with the drought conditions that we're facing, obviously, we was required last week to issue phase 1 of our drought management plan, basically letting the citizens know that at this time there is no restrictions to conserve water. However, that if we were to have to move further with phase 2, that there would be restrictions at that time, such as watering your lawn, washing your cars, etc., things of that nature. But we did let TDEC know, as well as got with the town of Smyrna and Metro, so everybody's on board and everybody's issued at the same time.
Any questions for Michael? Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Moving on to Human Resources, Cheryl Lewis Smith.
Next week too. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. Here is the Human Resource Report for the month of October. We had 1 external job posted with 177 applicants, 1 actual new hire, and 1 employee was promoted. There were 2 resignations, and we had 4 workers' compensation claims and 2 liability claims with TML. There were 96 care here appointments, 5 no-shows, a total of 332 enrollees, 2 HRAs were conducted, 1 short-term disability application claim, for a total claim dollar amount of $223,001. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Cheryl Lewis Smith? Cheryl, I just want to thank you for the job well done. The past 2 years, we have cut the employee turnover rate just about in half, and I want to commend you for a great job, and I appreciate everything you've done for the city of Laverne.
Thank you so very much. It's a pleasure.
And that ends department reports. We got a presentation to David. You want to come up here and help me?
Yes, sir.
We're starting something. This is something that I give out 4 times a year. We just started the coin deal. This is the first time we gave this out. But this is a thing we do quarterly. And this is the City of Laverne Outstanding Performance Award is hereby granted to Randy Frost for your dedication and hard work for the city of Laverne. The city hereby recognizes you with this award and thank you for the excellent work you've done for the city of Laverne. Given this day, first day of November 2016. Is he here?
He is here. I'd just like to say a few words before we call you up here, Randy. When we started looking for a maintenance man 2 years ago, we couldn't have got a better person to fit that job. As most of you know here, he has probably left his mark on every city building. And you hear the term jack of all trades, well, we have it with us. And you always hear master of none. Well, he does hold a master's plumber's license, so we've got him beat there. If there's anything that we found out that he can't do, we don't know what it is yet. So we're very glad to have him. Couldn't ask for a better person. He's just all around good people. Thank you, Randy. 2 years, pretty much to the day almost. We're glad to have you. Come get your certificate.
Come on up, Randy. You're the first one to get the city coin.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Appreciate your hard work. With all the police in here, it'd be a good time to rob a bank. But we're moving on to consent agenda. That's true. That's true. Moving on to number 4, consent agenda. Need a motion to approve or deny the consent agenda. Need a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve. Need a second. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. I say aye. The consent agenda passes 4-0. Moving on to new business. This is first reading ordinance 2016-15, an ordinance to amend the city, the Laverne Municipal Zoning Ordinance as it pertains to the overlay district. Received a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission on September 27th, 2016. Need a motion to approve or deny this ordinance.
I make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve. Need a second. Got a second. Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. I say aye. The ordinance passes 4-0. It will be a public hearing on this next month at 6:30. Moving on number 6, first reading, ordinance 2016-16, an ordinance to amend the city municipal zoning ordinance regarding cell towers in residential and agricultural districts. Received a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission on October 25th, 2016. Need a motion to approve or deny this ordinance.
I make a motion to approve.
Need a second? Got a second? Alderman Jones?
Aye.
Alderman Brown?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green? I say aye. The ordinance 2016-16 passes 4-0, and this also will have a public hearing next month. Moving on number 7, resolution 2016-25. This is a resolution of the City of Laverne Board of Mayor and Aldermen to declare certain property owned by the city to be surplus to the needs of the city and needs and the directing disposal of the same. Need a motion to approve or deny this resolution. Got a motion, need a second.
Second.
Alderman Brown,
Aye.
Alderman Jones,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. I say aye. It passes 4-0. Moving on, number 8, motion to approve a certificate of good moral character for the liquor by the drink application for the Memories Bar and Grill to be located at 574 Walden Road. Need a motion to approve or deny.
I make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve. Need a second. A second. Alderman Brown,
Aye.
Alderman Jones,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. I say aye. The motion passes 4-0. Moving on to number 9. This is appoint or remove board members, committee members. A, Stormwater Appeals Advisory Board. One term is vacant. That's Lori O'Neill. We got one applicant so far. Yes. One applicant is Chuck Dillon. Need a motion to put Chuck Dillon on the Stormwater Appeals Board. Got a motion to put him on.
I make a motion to approve Chuck Dillon for this stormwater.
Got a motion to approve. Need a second. Got a second. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Alderman Brown.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Green. I say aye. Mr. Dillon is appointed to the Stormwater Appeals Board. Now we're down to Mayor and Alderman comments. We'll start with you, Ms. Brown.
No, there's been a lot of interesting comments with this impending election, and I'm not sure what's going to come of it tomorrow or come of it this election season, but I do know one thing. It's going to be over soon, and I'm thrilled to death about that. Whoever wins or loses, I hope everyone remembers we're all into this together, whether you're talking about the city, the state, national politics, we're all in this together. So I hope that everyone can reunite after this, put their differences aside and work towards some sort of harmony. You don't have to sing the same note, you just sing a little harmony and it'll be just fine. Also, I'd like to just address some comments that were made today. Anytime a citizen calls me or emails me about a concern, I listen to them. When 48 people sign a petition and hire an attorney, I definitely listen to them. So while everyone may not agree with my decision, I am here to represent the people. I will continue unapologetically to do that. And so my phone number is posted on the city website, so is my email address. I encourage you to reach out to me, express your concerns. If you don't want to come to citizens' comments and do that in the meeting, that's okay. We still hear the private concerns of every citizen that contacts us, whether they're for or against. And I just generally make a tally sheet. And almost every time there's a controversial vote, the tally sheet on one side is far more filled than on the other, and that's how I make my decision. It's never came to the fact that it was really close. It's always been very much one side or the other according to the residents that live here. I'd like to extend my sincere condolences to Martin Blair's family. He was a great man in the community, a pillar of the community, and he is going to be a deep loss for our entire community. So I just want everyone to keep their family in the prayers. And I also would like to wish Tom Broker, he's not here tonight, he's actually working for the economic development actions down in Atlanta. Although he is leaving his seat, he's not leaving his service, and so I appreciate that. But he's not here tonight, but I still want to extend a well wish for his future endeavors. I'm sure he'll be successful at anything that he endeavors to be. And that's all.
Alderman Jones.
I'd just like to say I wish everyone come out and put in your vote for early voting. Voting days on November 8th. I'd like to see everyone come out. Regardless of the outcome, you haven't seen the last of me. I'll always come back because I'm still a citizen of Laverne, and I still love Laverne. I'll be here to, I might be in a different capacity. Might be a better capacity, because then I'll go and I'll have 3 minutes to just say whatever I want, be it true or false, and I'll think I'll have me a good time doing that too, and maybe I can get across to some people that you know, it's not what you say, it's what you do. You can get up here and you can say just about anything in the world, and as a courtesy, or out of respect for this position and this board and this city, I don't respond to anything that's thrown my way. Now, my personal saying is I'll never get into an argument with someone of limited capacity, because they'll just drop me to their level and then they'll beat me with their expertise. I'm not going to get into an argument with anyone over what you say or what you think, but it's been nice serving here for the past 2 years. I look forward to serving another 4. And if the numbers don't fall my way, I look forward again to being a citizen of Laverne and someone who's able to respond whenever when something is said about me. And I wish everyone have a great night. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Green.
Well, I'm just happy that I'm not standing out on the corner this time trying to get votes. But I do admire everybody that does it. And I'm telling you, you will be happy. I've done that for many, many years. And it's a hard job, but it's great. It's rewarding. And it's so good to stand up for your city and do what you can to help. And I'm always glad to help anybody or do anything I can for anybody in this city. So I love Laverne. I've been here, a long, long time. But I do love Laverne. And I just wish that everybody would go out and vote and just have fun. We always have a good time doing that. So it's not important, really, well, it is important to you if you win, I know that, but it's not so important that you have to get ugly or do anything, you know. So just go out and have fun, and I hope everybody gets what they wish for.
Again, I want to say, Mr. Blair's passing, keep the family in the prayers. He's been a key person in Laverne for a long time, and a lot of people's going to miss him. And remember to set your clocks back this Saturday. It's daylight savings time. And I thought I've seen it. My family's been in Laverne for 200 years. I've been an alderman since 2004, and I thought I've seen everything and heard everything, but I think I've seen the record tonight. I've seen people roll tires in here. I've seen people throw human waste on the table. But Alderman Jones, I've served on the planning commission with him, and I have never served with a finer person. Him or Tom Broker both been a fine person, and I've been honored to serve on this board with Tom and Calvin Jones, and I take it a personal insult to anybody that would say anything negative about either one of them. And I just thought I've seen it all, but it's a record. I'm disgusted with people getting up here that wants to say negative things about good people, and I just can't say no more. I'm just ready to throw up. This meeting's adjourned.